So having these dogs has really kept me fit because I'm out with the dogs 3 to 4 times a day. 3 of the walks are just little short ones really, but I do tend to take them on a longer walk. Generally I'll take them about a couple of miles, maybe a bit further. Depends on how I'm feeling and what the weather's like. It's a nice day today, but I want to go to this local walk, and I found this in this local woodland that I go to. There's a type of orchid that's growing. I've never seen it as abundant before, but I've seen it everywhere, and it's called the pyramid orchid. So I brought my camera with me to take some photographs of that, and also to show you the funny walking habits of my dogs. And finally, when we get back home again, I might even do a quick garden update for you, because there's been a few things happening there, not all good. Some of it has been though. So you'll want to pull to go through the hedge on the right. Go on then. Gap coming up now. Almost in the woods now. We've got to go down a steep slope. This is where Carmen's very gentle. She doesn't pull down this slope because she knows she can pull me over. So she's a really good dog. Come on then. Good girl. Now here, she can come off the lead now. Come on. So she's free to go and do her thing. But the other article here, Zeta has got to stay on the lead because she becomes well, she just goes bonkers and runs off and does naughty things. So I'm now being taken for a walk through the woods by my dogs. I'm in Stratton Woods. I'm looking for the pyramid orchids. I've seen a few, but they're not brilliant specimens. I think there might be one over there. Let's have a look over here. I can see one. I think they're just beginning to go over now because this is being filmed in early July. It is quite a good specimen. Yeah, there's one there. The dog's very attentive. She's looking for squirrels, and the slightest chance she gets, she'd be off. So I'm going to tie her up, get my other camera out, and get a photograph of that lovely orchid for you. So there you are, that's the pyramid orchid. Sort of length of the stem is around about 14 to 16 inches tall, with this lovely pyramid shaped flower on the top. I'm pretty sure it's a pyramid orchid. I did go on to Google and ID it that way, but I could be wrong, so if anyone knows any better then please drop a comment below. I don't think they're uncommon. I'm seeing quite a lot of them in the woodland. Even from here, if I walk a few paces, there's several more. There's one there that's going over. There's more here. This one obviously setting seed now. Here. Here. Over here. They do vary in their colour. That one's a light purple. And this one over here is a It's a darker purple. Anyway, yeah. Time to get on with the dog walk. There's quite a lot here, look, in this little clearing, if you want to call it that. A lot of pyramid orchids. Carmen's found herself a little place to rest in amongst the pyramid orchids. There they are, look. Let's look at the pyramid orchids then. Well, I hope you found the pyramid orchids interesting, and I certainly did. I've learnt something about pyramid orchids, that is that their seeds are incredibly tiny. I've heard somewhere that that 1,000 seeds will fit on the head of a pin and not be touching, and that they can lie dormant for up to 100 years. So I think that's very interesting. And there's just so many of them about this time of year, or this year there's so many about, so maybe just a good year for them. But anyway, the garden. Well, we're going to have a potato reveal in a minute. I'm going to dig these up and see what they're going to produce. They're secondary potatoes, Charlottes. The rest of the garden, well, it's not been so good, I'm afraid. I've had mixed results. The beds, they've not done well. This bed here, it just didn't come to much. I mean, I've got a few onions, but they haven't grown. I mean, this was supposed to be a salad onion, and I sowed these way back in February. Come to nothing hardly. The beetroots, just come to nothing, waste of time. Lettuce is done very well. I had lettuces here, but they've all gone, and I've since put in some leeks. Lettuces, I did have success with lettuce, so that's one thing. Moving over to this bed here, the fennel, waste of time, just bolted straight away. I shan't be bothering with growing that again. So I got some French beans growing up there now. The onion sets, I thought they weren't going to come to much, but they are beginning to bulb up. So we'll leave them. Peas, I had a good crop of peas off of here, but I'm starting to pull the peas out and clear them up. So I'm probably going to plant more leeks in there. Moving over to the third bed, more leeks, beans. You know, starting to get beans to harvest, but not many of them. This lettuce here, this lettuce was it's going to seed now, or it's bolting rather, but this was cos, absolutely lovely. Really nice lettuce. Forget the rest of the bed. It's a bit of a mess. Now, something a bit more positive. The greenhouse. I'm still munching on that lettuce. On tomatoes. They've gone mad. Done really well. It's got fruit on them. You can see there. So I think it'll just be a week or two before we start having ripened tomatoes. Again over here. I think this side they're not as good. There's some nice fruits down there beginning to come on, but this side hasn't done as good. And this is in commercial compost. The other side is a lot better. That's in my own compost mixed with soil. So I feel that the reason why my beds outside didn't do so well was because the compost was commercial compost, and I don't think it was properly finished, because I had a lot of fungus, a lot of fungi was growing in it, and that's obviously, that can be an indicator that they're still that the compost is still breaking down, if you like, it's still making. So I think next year I might see better results. And also I did put cardboard down, and I kind of felt that with the beetroot, when they got going, they seemed to germinate well, grow really well, and then suddenly start dying off. And I think this was due to the taproot hitting the cardboard, and whatever crap and chemicals are in that cardboard, I don't know. But hopefully nature will break that down, and next year hopefully I'll have some good fertile ground to grow in. But this year it's been a bit of a, let's just say, a get going year. Not really a success out there. The other thing which I had high hopes for, but I kind of am no longer that pleased with, is this composter. The reason being that it's falling to bits. There is some heat going on in there, but my friend Loz, he says, he did mention in one of his vlogs, Loz has got a channel, he's called The Veg Plot. And he mentioned about this type of material, that it can absorb moisture and become heavy. And when he said that, I thought, no, it can't. It can't absorb moisture. But I'll tell you what, it can, because the inner section of the roof on the inside becomes so heavy and waterlogged, it fell off. The glue separated and it fell off. The rest of the structure so far holding together fine, but I think this type of bin is a bit of a gimmick, to be honest with you. I think you're just better off getting a good plastic bin out in the garden, maybe drill some holes in it, maybe sink the base of it into the ground a little bit, put it in a sunny spot, water it occasionally, and just chuck your garden waste and your kitchen waste in there and be done with it, rather than all the faff you've got to go through with all the lifting out and the agitating, and it's a faff. It's a bloody gimmick. Yeah, sorry about that. That's my opinion of hot bins at the moment. Right, but they were good fun anyway. It was a good experiment. I did enjoy it. Let's dig those spuds and see what we get. Maybe I could have planted them a bit deeper. I found one. Tiny. Another tiny one. Oh. They all seem to be hidden over here. So there you go, I sifted through it and I thought I would get about that many spuds, and that's what I got. So lovely new secondarily Charlotte potatoes. That's from 3 plants planted into a 50-litre bucket. So I guess that's not too bad, is it? Enough potatoes there to last me probably a couple of weeks, fortnight. So that's the compost back in its pot again now. So I guess I'm probably going to plant something else in there. I'm not sure what yet, but it's a good pot to grow something else in, isn't it, for food? So we'll see. Yeah, we'll have to come back in the future to see what I'm going to grow in it. I don't know myself just yet what I'm going to grow, but the garden, it's been a bit of a mixed success, I'd say. It's been mixed, and I think a lot of it is down to the poor quality of the compost that I started off with, and also having the cardboard. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with some aspects of the garden this year, but other aspects of it were very good, and I've certainly refined the choices that I'm going to grow next year. I'm certainly going to grow lettuce, and I'm going to grow leeks. I'm certainly not going to bother with the fennel. Fennel was a waste of time. And beetroot, one of my favourite vegetables, unfortunately just didn't grow here this year, but again I will try that next year. I think that was just down to the soil and the beds being new, the compost being new as well. So with that, I'm going to get indoors now, cook up some of those lovely potatoes, get me dinner. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now. They can go in the compost bin.